right, all right. Hey, guys, welcome back. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do a little peek at an 1111 collective message. All right, so happy 1111 portal. I will also be doing a follow up, a bonus part 2 for the today's topic video that we released for the 11th. Many of you wanted a part 2 to that one. And so I'm going to do that right after this, okay? But this is a collective message. It is not necessarily related to the today's topic for the 11th. This is something entirely different, more specific for the portal, okay? So what is this portal bringing forth? By the way, we had a really cool one over on Tarot Dog. I did do a collective specific message over on Tarot Dog for the 1111. Hi, everyone. So nice to see you. Hetty, Don Divine, Patricia, Sam Juanita, Slave Princess, Dave, Mona Gypsy, Wild Wiz Dominique, Ms. Light. So wonderful to see you. Don Divine, thanks again, you guys. It's really great to see you. So many thanks for asking. Honestly, I've been taking good care of myself. I had a real asthma flare. It's a lot better. It just, how asthma is. It can be really bad and then the flare calms down and then you can still have another or like smaller versions of it. But I'm so used to it now. It's just sometimes I gotta pause and not do too many videos. But honestly, I'm feeling a lot better. So anyway, I'll do as many videos as I feel like we can have fun doing tonight, okay? Because I'd really like to get a few zodiacs done. We start out with a King of Wands, but also Four of Pentacles, but the Wheel of Fortune, and the Four of Cups. First off, this says it's a portal day indeed. It's a day to go ahead and say, hang on, the universe is giving characters opportunities. In this story, I'm a little fearful characters might squander opportunities to go get the things that they most want. This could be somebody who says, no, to maintain peace, I should maintain silence. That seems like it's disappointing her. And it almost feels like, maybe this is the space to say he wants to protect his peace. And if he thinks communicating with her would disrupt his peace, then by all means, just move forward. Just forget all about this and just move onward. Let there remain silence and move on with life. If we look at a portal day, it's the day to cross a threshold. So if this is a day to say, I'm moving onward into the next chapter of my life, I'm not rehashing, I'm not recycling anything, absolutely then move forward. But let it be a decision. At some point, we do have to be a little bit more decisive about what we're going to do, what we're not going to do. Just to kind of, Ten of Swords in the Chariot. This could be the day that she also is saying, I think I'm a little done being disappointed. I haven't heard from him. So I think this is my cutoff day. I don't know that she intended for the 11/11 day of the year to be her cutoff day, but it looks like it is for her. And this is a day she frees herself from an illusion. I do feel like this is her saying, if I don't hear from him today, it's because enough time has already been invested. There is something about the time, right? We're in the London City street. We've got Big Ben there. And she's walking right toward Big Ben. I kind of think that this is a big day for these characters. If this is the day that they decide, I think we're done considering ever communicating again, then this is the place where they move on. I want to go back over to him for just a second. Are you maintaining your peace by not talking to her? I'm sorry, I don't believe that. We have the Lovers. Unfortunately, I think that it's going to be perhaps he's telling himself this. He's denying himself what he actually wants. Like, that's a powerful thing. I think he's bent out of shape. I think he either feels like she walked away from me, so by God, I'm done with her. I will not connect to her. Doesn't matter if I want her. I won't. Doesn't matter if I love her. I'm going to protect my peace by saying anybody who walks away from me, oh, God, what's that song? If you go, don't look back. Um, I'm blurring two different songs. If you leave, don't come back. If you leave, don't come back. If you leave, don't come back. It's a man who sings it. He's not super mainstream. I can't think of who it is, but it's that refrain again and again. But now I'm also blurring it with OMD. Don't you dare to phone me. Don't you even have me on your mind. I can't think of the title of that track either, but it's an OMD song. I haven't heard that in a long time. I love OMD. Oh my God. Pulse, put my finger on my pulse. That's a newer version. That's like a sensual song. But sorry, OMD tracks are flooding my brain right now. But I feel like there is a bunch of like, maybe she raises his pulse rate because it's like, I still want her, but she walked away from me. So I'm saying, I don't care if I love you, you walked away from me. This, I wouldn't normally say that a King of Wands is stubbornly, cutting his nose off to spite his face, but he's sitting here with his arms crossed saying, no, I'm going to keep my peace. Yeah, I love you. Oh God, I love you like no other, but you dared to walk away from me. So you can forget that. I just think, get a Four of Wands. If this is the person that you wanted to be with, but she's over here saying, if he hasn't talked to me by now, we're done. I got to let this go. He thinks you walked away from him. Let me just ask her, did you walk away from him? Plain and simple. Oh, she's like, it's not that simple. Knight of Pentacles sideways. It was a real slow moving, everything feels murky for these two, but they both imagine that they're these two have a lot of unspoken words. This is a nightmare. This is, I want to shriek and say, characters, advocate for the outcome you want in life, not for the outcome that your ego is going to give you. These two have so much unspoken dialogue, but they both imagine that, you know what, if they won't do X, Y, or Z, then I'm done with them. And the other person's like, if they won't do X, Y, or Z, but I don't think either one of these has great communication. Or let's say together, they don't have great communication. Like maybe they each, talked to other people about the situation, but they didn't say those things to one another. Universe, what's the message on this? Four of Cups sideways. This could be a love story lost to foolish pride. This could be, the universe might be saying, it ain't a disappointment if these two didn't have like enough emotion for each other to go ahead and say, I need to still talk to you, or I'm trying to figure out what happened. I'm not really sure. There's so many things I didn't say to you. There's so many things I didn't ask you. Look, if neither person wants to do this, then it's not a disappointment. It's the way this needed to go. Nothing to be disappointed over. Maybe these two would never be able to communicate. There are people like that in life. I have met people where it wouldn't matter what I said. It wouldn't matter how I attempted to communicate. They are raging. And you're just like, and that's when I usually say, this conversation is now closed. Because they can't take on somebody who literally is going to find flaw with everything I say, no matter how straightforward and non-confrontational and honest I'm trying to be. There are times in life, and sometimes we're that person too, when we got to be in our bonnet, it won't matter what anybody says, we're still going to be pissed. And that's because we were pissed long before the conversation began, is what I always think. And you can't fix somebody who's already determined to be mad. So don't waste your time on it. They have a problem that they have to solve. They're making you the problem, but it doesn't matter. They don't want a resolution. So there's no point in investing your time in that. There's a lot of things I've learned not to bother with my time on. Not because I don't care, but because I'm like, you know what? Life is too short for this. I'm not going to engage. I'm not going to over-explain myself. I'm not going to do it. There's too many other things, and I don't really love small drama. I realize more and more I just can't do small drama, especially small drama. There's too many other huge things in my life right now. So we have this Temperance upright. And the only reason I'm bringing that up and I'm trying to use like a personal example is just because the universe is big. So the universe is like, look, If y'all don't want to talk again, just leave it alone and just move on. It's not a big tragedy. There's 8 billion plus people to love. It's okay if you two aren't ever going to be able to find the communication. Maybe you don't have, a great rapport, and that's okay. Be at peace with the fact that you're not going to be at peace together. But whatever it is, today is the day to make peace with something. So it's a day for both characters to maybe ask themselves, if I never speak to them again, can I just be okay with that and say, we never got a resolution on this, but that's okay and I can move forward? Or is it a day to say, we never got a resolution. This is going to be that thorn in my side because I really cared about this person, so I need to go ahead and talk to them. Either way, our characters are just being encouraged to do the thing you can live with, which I think makes perfect sense. Oh my God, you are so sweet. Wild Wiz Dominique, thank you, Angel. You are so generous. Oh my God, thank you, babe. That was unbelievably generous. Thank you, honey. We have a Knight of Cups in the reverse. Sorry, guys. It's funny how the universe is saying either it's divine or it's not. I like the fact that the universe is giving both of them total permission. You're allowed to go down the road that makes you more comfortable. And if letting this go without resolution makes you more comfortable, go ahead and do that. You don't have to feel like, oh, but I'm a bad person. Aren't I always supposed to be like, listening to the energy of the divine, and that means I must, always walk the higher road, and I must always close things with perfect, communication and, a kumbaya hug and, I wish you well, my darling. No, the universe is like, it's okay to just let it go. It doesn't make you an ogre. If you don't really want to invest in this, it's okay to let it go. The only thing that's not really okay, at least in this story, and please remember, I am a fictional storyteller. I am not telling anybody how to live, what is right, what is wrong. But from the universe's perspective, the universe is saying, listen, I'm team you. You do the thing that you actually would give you greater peace. If letting this whole thing go, that's the only thing that would be a mistake, is if you say, well, I really just want to let this go, and say, chalk that one up to, I don't know what happened. He and me, we just couldn't get along. She and me, we couldn't get along. Chalk it up on the scoreboard of like, I don't know, but I'm moving on and I'm living in my best life. I didn't set out to hurt him, so I'm not going to feel guilt over this, even if I never fully understood what our, damage was. I don't know, like, who of us was broken. I don't know, but I'm just going to let this one go. If that feels better, then by all means, let it go. Don't force or shame oneself into saying, but it can't be over because I should have to feel guilt. And the universe is like, no, you should do the thing that makes you comfortable. I don't see either person set out to harm each other, regardless of what they both think. But let me go back over to him, because we didn't give him a chance to say, I asked, did you leave? Because he says you walked away. And she says, it's really complicated. It was this really slow, like, it didn't make sense what was going on. We couldn't communicate. Let me ask from his perspective, because he might be the one who's in a lot of pain over this. We see him saying, I'm going to keep my peace, so I'm not talking to her. She walked away from me. We have the Four of Pentacles. Again, I do not think he was very collaborative or amenable to communicating. It looks like he stepped back instead of stepping forward to communicate. So maybe he didn't like the way she communicated. Maybe he wanted her to come forward and dig stuff out of him. Nine of Swords. Maybe he felt stressed by her and then withdrew on purpose. And if she wasn't going to do extra work to make sure that he didn't feel stressed, then this is no go. Twice we saw him with the Four of Pentacles. He says he loved her. She was the person he wanted, but she left him. He might have old traumas where he's like, when I see somebody that I want, if they disappoint me at all, then you know what? I go into my shell. They're going to have to, practically invoke a rain dance and perform, a special, chant and do acrobatics and offer me, gifts of exotic fruit before I will come back out of my shell. That what you would have to do to get me back is so much because I loved you and I would have given you everything. And you wounded me, and that opened up a scar that I still carry. And so, what happens? I pull back. And I'm entitled to do that. Doesn't matter how bad I wanted you. You hurt me. So guess what? I'm in my shell. The only thing is, the shell is a painful space to be. Like, he withdrew, but we see him in the Nine of Swords. So it's like, I'm going to punish you because I felt like you walked away from me, but I'm the one in more pain, but I'm going to think that I'm punishing you by staying in my shell. You would have to do so much to get another shot with me, even though I desperately want to be with you. Four of Cups in the reverse. And the thing that might hurt him the most is, I don't think you care enough. You're not bothered enough. You're not knocking down my door. I almost think this person was like, he may have wanted her to like try and try and try and try and try to get him to open back up. And it's like, you didn't try hard enough. You didn't show me you're sad enough, confused enough by why did I withdraw from you. So therefore, I'm staying in my shell. But again, it seems to me that he's the one still unhappy, but he's more content to do that. I'm going to be unhappy because I'm not going to come forward and communicate with you. She says, I don't understand what happened. She says, I cannot understand. I definitely think that this is old scars and such that made somebody like really withdraw, and they wanted someone else to fix scars that they already had. That's what I would say. Like, that's what it looks like. This King of Wands, it was maybe like they really were nuts about her, but one little tiny thing that reminded them of something an ex did to them, and they heaped all of the pain that they felt from somebody else, they heaped it onto her and said, you have to make it up to me. Queen of Swords, Queen of Pentacles. Here's the big bummer. Somewhere deep down, he knows she already did. But maybe now there's too much pride involved. It's like, she already did actually tell me how she really felt about me. She already did try to give to me, but I bypassed it because I wanted her to crawl, and she didn't ever crawl. And now it would be like me crawling if I come back to her after all this time and say, it's my fault. I actually got really upset because I really wanted to be with you, and I felt like you were walking away from me, and then I wanted you to make it up to me because it triggered an abandonment thing. So I needed you to fix the abandonment thing in me that pre-existed, but also fix the way I felt triggered by you. And although I know you already were straightforward with me, you already told me how you felt about me, you already tried to give to me, I wouldn't accept that it was enough. Probably because my real scars predated you. So now, how do I come back to her, especially after time has elapsed, and said, you did do enough to make me come out of my shell, but I didn't because I had other scars that predated that. This is a bummer. This is a bummer because I feel like he is intentionally cheating himself out of what he actually wants, and especially with somebody that he knows did offer him something truthful, something loving. I mean, here she's in a wedding gown, so it almost looks like she had said, like, I wanted to marry you. Universe, what's a message for him? We got to change decks here. What's the message for him right now? Oh, that's a lot of cards. Oh, Fool, Two of Cups. The universe says, well, babe, you could definitely still drop all this drama and just go balls to the wall. Go all in. You care about her. You love her. Just go for it. Just tell her, oh my God, look, I've been pissed. I've been sitting here hurting over you because I really like you. I really wanted to be with you. The universe is like, you could straight up do that. You could straight up do that. Just open your freaking heart. Say how you feel. Send the message. Reach out. you could do it. And part of you, 50% of you, is maybe even sitting there toying with it, tapping out a message, but then not sure if you should send it. And the universe is like, what would an emperor do? At the end of our lifespan, and we have a good long lifespan, but at the end of our lifespan, rest assured we're going to have many times that we looked stupid in our lives. But this is a good one to look stupid for. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to have mishaps. We're going to, say dumb things. We're going to accidentally make big flubs. We're going to start a business that totally crashes. We're going to have job interviews that we bomb on. We're going to have things in life that we try that are epic fails. And we're going to feel humiliated. We're going to feel like total fools. And that is inevitable because, well, it's also kind of stupid to feel like failures because we don't know how life works. We're all just figuring this out. Who cares if we try and we biff and we fail and we tumble? If only we didn't feel so embarrassed of our failures, right? But we're going to anyway. And especially the more years on this planet we have, the more of those mistakes we'll probably make, unless we get so freaked out that we're like, I cannot afford to make another mistake, therefore I will try nothing new. And that would be sad indeed. But if we're going to inevitably make mistakes, and at the end of our life, we're going to be like, oh, there were so many things I made mistakes on. Oh my God, I was so embarrassed by this, so embarrassed by that. But you know what? It's probably going to be small potatoes in the big scheme of our life. But this is one worth being a fool for. This is one worth humbling ourselves and saying, oh, I was such a fool. I got really upset over this one person who I actually really loved. And then maybe he feels really dumb about trying to reach out to her and just lay it on the line and be like, oh my God, I freaking love you. And I've been so pissed at you and I've been so hurt and because I felt like you abandoned me and I don't want to be abandoned, especially by you. Maybe getting those words out is really freaking hard. Of course it's freaking hard. How would it not be? But what a good thing, even if we feel stupid about doing it, what a good thing to feel stupid for. Because at least that's something real and it's the best of ourselves. Saying that we love somebody to me is like always the best of ourselves. There's no guarantees about how anything will work out, but at least if we can be honest about our emotions, that's us. That's our own heart. That's maybe one of the most personal things we have control over is who we love, and being able to speak that out loud is such an act of like personal power, And if that's the way he could look at it instead, that might be a better route to take. But that's just the universe putting that out there. But the universe is calling him out. You know that 50% of you wants to do this. 50% of you even has started to write something. 50% of you wants to just say, F this. I just got to tell her how I feel. I'm pissed at her because I feel like she left me and I didn't want to be left by her. Look, she says it's not even what happened. So the two of you are in this stupid standoff over absolutely nothing. Look, I'll use just a humorous, non-romantic concept. I have a brother, and he and I are closest in age out of all my siblings. And so we have the biggest conflicts. And we also get along the best but we are the most we're titans when we clash. And we have never sorted out our giant clash over the Lord of the Rings and how we both see the differences between the book versus the movie and which was preferable. We have a clash, and this war will go on for eternity between us. And we both are very dedicated to our opinions on these things. And that is like our annual Thanksgiving fight. We've got to argue about that again. And I don't know. I mean, this is funny because it doesn't matter. And it's, it's a stupid brother, right? Brother-sister argument. But by the way, he's wrong. But I feel like if we could take the level of intensity, because we're talking about these people who have these deep emotions and a love story, and boil it down to, it's kind of the same thing. It's like, this is not enough to destroy the ability to talk or be around each other. This is the same over amplified energy on one hand. And if we could put it into a slightly different context and maybe take the huge power of a love story out of this and bring it down to the bare basics and say, these two are fighting over really nothing. They both love each other. There's been different opinions about what they think happened, but ultimately, here's the thing. My brother and I both like the movie and the book, but it doesn't matter. We still have to fight about the intricacies of certain casting things that we think should have been better, or images that should have looked different. There's, like, I expected more from the writers of Rohan because they were one of my favorite components, and I felt like they should have been more magical, more majestic. I wanted more cinematically, and my brother's like, "You imbecile. It was perfect. What more could they have done? Writers of Rohan were powerful in the film. They were powerful in the book." And I'm like, no, they were bigger in my mind. They were more. There was more, I don't know, something that was missing for me cinematically. Look, the bottom line is we both liked both of them. So why are we fighting about it? Because we have to. If we could take this relationship stuff and strip it down to the bare bones and say the bottom line is these two both cared about each other. So what the hell are they doing about to walk away? The universe says you could choose something else. But in this story, it does look like, because he's the one who went into a shell. We saw that a couple times with that Four of Pentacles. He's the one who kept withdrawing. We saw that again and again. He's the one who loves her, but is standing there with his arms crossed. So that's the only reason it's on him to go ahead and stop saying, yeah, I loved her. I wanted to marry her. And I even know she loved me, but she didn't pursue me and make it up to me when she withdrew from me. So therefore, I can't forgive it. The universe is like, I kind of think you're fighting what you really want to do. 50% of you wants to just reach out. So today is the day to make that choice. Today is the day where, with the Wheel of Fortune here, we're entering into a new chapter. So whether he does it or whether he doesn't, it's up to him. But yeah. We got Temperance. Again, the universe says, do the thing you can live with. We have the Temperance coming out twice. This is not a day to say that they must get back together, nor that it's better if they part ways. It's a day for the two of them have to separately make a decision. What do I do? Because I can't keep thinking about this. So I have to do the thing that gives me peace. And then that's it. No more looking back, because we got to get on with life. Do we have a final message, universe? The universe is like, yeah, I have no idea what tomorrow holds. But what they decide today or into tonight, it will become apparent by tomorrow. So we don't get to know the answer to this. What will they do? Page of Wands, Queen of Wands. I feel like tonight's going to be an important night for both of them to actually, I don't know, she might listen to music, or if she plays music, she might do something that's enjoyable. He might be asking himself about like what next step he wants to take in life. I still don't know. I mean, whatever their decisions are, the only thing is tomorrow looks different for them. Tomorrow is either the day their paths officially like veer off in a different path, and this is the end of the road for their potential romance, or this is the day that their paths come back together. I don't know. And we're not going to get an answer on this because we have the moon. So whatever they think about tonight will be a big decider for the two of them. But the 11th is the day to make the decision, because the future has arrived. So it's time to make that choice and get on with it, together or apart. Okay, I know it's tough to leave it on a cliffhanger, but I kind of like that. I almost feel like maybe we should do a follow-up on this tomorrow. It might just be a quick little like, okay, what they decide. What's today look like? I don't know. We'll see. But I'm going to end this one here, and then I'm going to do a little part 2 to that. I'll just call it like the bonus part 2 to the today's topic that we had for the 11th. You guys, really nice to see everybody. The classic slasher, you're adorable. T, you want to follow up to this one tomorrow? All right. Reach is magic. This quote popped up in your YouTube feed the other day. I did what I did because I am who I am. Yeah. Happy Bubble, if I've got the lungs for it, definitely. When my lungs get bad, I try to go ahead and do more like collective messages, only because then everybody still gets something. And if I have to postpone zodiacs, I postpone zodiacs, only because I feel like it gives everyone a little something instead of only one tiny group an opportunity. So if I have enough lungs, I just don't want to commit because I'm not 100% sure. Right now, I'm still doing okay, but that could shift because asthma's a weird thing. So sometimes I just like all of a sudden I'm like, oh, and I don't want to run myself down today and then be down again tomorrow, because I was pretty much bedridden on Monday. So I just can't do that again. It takes it, I lose too much time. And I've discovered if I just get on the heating pad, drink the fluids, stop talking, get some extra sleep, I recover way faster. So I don't want to push, but if I can, I will. But if I don't, that's the only reason why. Uh, you guys are so awesome. Oh, a snow globe. Are you talking this one? This is a plasma ball. And then this one is actually, it's not a snow globe either. It's a zodiac music box that lights up. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's got all the zodiacs like chiseled into it. And then inside, you know what's so funny? The real reason I bought this was because we have Athens depicted in here and we have our little angel. And then I was like, wait a minute, that's zodiacs. Oh my God, how perfect is this? But yeah, it like lights up and plays a little tune. I just thought it was so pretty. It's one of my little happy possessions. So anyway, I'll tag it in the video for you. You guys, thanks so much. Lots of love, everybody. All right, I will see you guys in the next one. I'm going to bounce on out of here. Thank you again so much. Wild was Dominique. And hi, Ray. Empress Unicorn 111. So wonderful to see you. Lady A, good to see you. Kimone Rayner. Thanks again, Air Bubble. And Ren, wonderful to hang with you. Wonder T, thank you a million times over. You're so sweet. Thank you guys for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. I so appreciate you. JPEX, you're so sweet. Selene, hi, babe. Hi, Laura. NES and Travis. Wonderful to see you. Nikki O, hi babe. Broken Bee for Bliss. Patricia, always awesome to hang with you. And San Juanita, thank you. You are so sweet. Thank you, San Juanita. It's helping. Teresa Autry, thanks, babe. Don Divine, thank you. Brahita Beauty and Tanya Jones, shout out to you on the East Coast of Canada. Nice to see you, neighbor. All right, you guys. Lots of love. I'll see you again soon. Bye for right now.